Well, after 6 years of no service, trains are back on Cape Town's Central Line. Once crippled by theft and vandalism, this crucial rail corridor connecting the city with Khayelitsha and Mitchells Plain is now ready to reopen. Transport Minister Barbara Creecy, Deputy Minister Mkhuleko, Hlengwa and PRASA executives are leading that relaunch, and our Vaylen Kirtley is there. Vaylen, I think it's important, again, I mentioned some of how important this particular development is, but it has been such a struggle really for getting reliable, predictable services that this is a real moment for Cape Town commuters.
Iman, thank you very much. Yes, it certainly is. 50% of commuters actually use this central line. A number of them actually getting onto the central line via the Chris Hani station, which is where we are currently. The regional manager for the Western Cape from PRASA, he joins us now. He knows exactly what it's taken to actually recover this line, and that's what it was all about. After COVID, you guys went from having over 100 stations that you were managing to just 7.
Absolutely. You know, when we returned from the 7th of July 2020, prior to that, look at, say, March 26th, we were operating 124 stations. Then on the 7th of July, we could only operate 7 out of the 124 stations. Then we had to do our recovery plans from then all the way to now. So what we see here and what we are celebrating today, it's one of our critical lines that is bringing a train from Cape Town all the way to Chris Hani. This leaves us with only 3 stations in the Western Cape to recover. That's Hlengwa here, Mitchells Plain and Captain's Club that we intend to bring into service in July of this year.
How difficult has it been to ensure that those that you have relocated, 5,000 people had to be relocated from this line alone, the area that they were relocated to? In fact, I'm actually going to interrupt myself because what we are hearing now is the hooting of the train. And Raymond Messero, how does that actually feel for you?
Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You know, when you are blessed as a civil servant to serve people, right? When it comes through, it's something different. It's not about the hardship that you have gone through, but it is what actually this particular train means to the community that is surrounding us. You know, if you were to think about it, you can't get a you can't get a taxi from here to Cape Town. You have to take a taxi from here to Nonkubela at the main rank, then you can get a taxi. That would cost you in the vicinity of 45 rands, one direction. As you and I speak, the people that are inside this train, they will only pay 10 rands for the return trip.
And that's something, Iman, that we heard the community actually speaking about. In fact, it is the economic impact that they have felt since 2019 when the service was actually suspended. Raymond Messero, we're going to walk together to the train. If you can come with us, that's our camera operator. We are live on air, but there's just so much excitement after this train has finally arrived. So let's go and walk to the train. The train came a little bit later than we were expecting. What happened?
Every time and everywhere we work, within the corridors that we were recovering from, we work with communities. Some of the communities that we have worked with, you will find out that service delivery issues become key. As PRASA, as we come in, we try to alleviate some of the poverty that you will find within our communities in terms of lack of employment opportunities and jobs. Today, we were stopped by a service delivery protest that had delayed this particular train. But you also need to understand why that is very important. In the Western Cape, you find out that people work in Cape Town, on the Belleville line, they work in Claremont, Wynberg, but people live on the Central Line. Without this particular train, people were disconnected from employment opportunities. Therefore, I believe that by returning this train, we will then reconnect people with their employment opportunities, and we can also play our role in lessening the poverty that the people are complaining about within our communities.
Raymond Macero is the regional head of PRASA here in the Western Cape. Thanks so much for chatting to us.
Thank you very much.
You could see that broad smile on his face, Iman, when the train finally hooted and it said that it has arrived, but now we are being ushered into the train because we are on an express to Cape Town along with the minister, and some of those issues that were discussed, Iman, that there's still unhappiness. Today as we speak, a protest happening close to the line around the Philippi area, and that's something that PRASA has had to navigate not only here in the Western Cape but in fact around the country, where they only have 66% of their stations that they have recovered, and they've managed to recover certainly our rail stations being deeply impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and what that shutdown did to societies. PRASA working for years now to try and actually get things, quite literally, excuse the pun, back on track.